Honest to God, you got to watch this episode of 101 Tips, because we're talking about religious statements this time. Welcome back to tip number 81 of Interviewing and Interrogation Tips. Your host, Stan Walters. And this time we're going to talk about religious statements. Think about religious statements. Now, often it's labeled. That you see that people say that using religious remarks is a sign of deception. In our research work we involved in New York, we didn't find that. However, what's going on, the subject is using emotional manipulation. They're trying to change you emotionally, how you feel about them, sometimes kind of using almost like an emotional blackmail. The difference is that in denial, the rejection of reality, the person's creating an argument. They're creating a line of thought, a logic, and manipulating intellectually into why your conclusions are wrong. But using religious statements, I'm trying to change how you think about me. I want you to see me as someone answered to a higher calling, that has a higher moral standard, that their behavior, where my behavior is excluded from doing something because of my status. So as God is my witness, may God strike me dead. Listen for swearing on their mother's grave, swearing on the dead souls of ancestors, swearing on the eyes of their children, swearing by the Spirit, swearing by the light, swearing by the Bible, swearing on the Quran, swearing by the prophet, swearing by the Spirit. All of these, or I'm going to pray for you, I'm an elder in the church. I was just recently involved in a case, peripherally looking at a case where a gentleman was inappropriately engaged with some kids at a youth conference. And immediately, once he was challenged about something he was doing, oh no, I father Joel Osteen, and I'm a very religious, and I follow his teachings and so forth. And nothing wrong with Osteen, I'm not telling you that, okay? There's nothing about what he's doing. But immediately they throw this out, and you're supposed to go, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know. Forgive me, oh, I feel so horrible about even challenging you with this. That's what they're after, is to change your perception. Good. Now, I'm not making fun or saying good, fine, faithful, devout people don't use those. They use those remarks, but they are not when they're in trouble. And I mean, how many times you heard the Pope say, "May God strike me dead"? Either the current Pope or the most retired Pope. Or my dad was a Southern Baptist minister, and my dad didn't go, "As God is my witness, as a shepherd, as a sheep, as God's messengers." They're people of faith, whatever faith, their character of faith is obvious. Yeah, now can those fakes make mistakes? Sure, they absolutely can make mistakes. We're all human. We got feet of clay. We're going to make mistakes. We do that. We're fallible human beings. We're going to do that. But this is an over the top, over the edge, over the hump. They're trying to make you feel some type of guilt because you assumed, oh, how could he? Now let me add to you now. Deceptive subjects will use that ploy. And what they may be doing is playing on your preconceptions. So essentially what emotional manipulation is playing on your preconceptions that you have a vision of these people, this type of character would not do it, and so you can't see me as this character person, you must see me as the other. So be alert for that. Yes, it can or cannot be deception, but by itself, the use of religious statements is not a foolproof marker of deception, but it may be used to manipulate you as the interviewer. Glad to be with you again. Okay, I want you to make sure that you hit the share button. Hit the like button, please. Again, that ranks the videos very high. Gets them up there on YouTube, and I'm trying to max these things out. We're putting them back over on Facebook later and on LinkedIn, other sources, to get these little tidbits out to you to assist you as the interviewer. And if you've got friends, please encourage them to sign up. And this is your first visit, please subscribe so you can keep track of these and go back and look at our past episodes. So until we get back together again with tip number 82, I think we're on. This is Stan Walters, been your host. Be safe.